Hello and welcome back. I am Jeff GrantMEDIA. In today's unboxing and first impressions video, we've got a package from Greenroom 136. Now, what is inside of this package is something that was another BYC. I placed my order quite some time ago and it landed on my doorstep the other day. I'm pretty excited to check this out because this is the Northseeker By Your Command bag. And until the Northseeker came out, I was firmly a Green 136 Genesis guy, but I love the Northseeker. There's something about the bag. I absolutely love it. It's great. And the BYC, if you're not familiar with that, it's By Your Command. They essentially take your ideas and put them into the bag. So they implement the features that you want into their products. So this is the round 3 of the BYC Northseeker version. So let's crack this thing on open and check it on out for the very first time. Oh yeah. Okay. Vacuum sealed. All right. Love it, love it. And I do also like the stickers that they include these days on the bags. They are nice. Now, I can't tell. I think this is a gray, but it's coming about. It looks a bit green in person, but certainly on camera it looks a bit gray. And to be honest, I don't remember all of the specs I built into this bag because I built it a while ago, and I just forgot what my specs were. And apparently I did double check. I didn't film the build-up, or if I did film it, I didn't transfer it to my hard drive. So I have to look around because I could have swore I screen recorded the build-up of this bag, but I can't find it. So we're going to have to dig into that one. If we find it, future Jeff will insert it in there. But yeah, checking this thing out over. I'm really digging it. Hooked in there. Nice airbag mesh. One thing I really like here is the expandable mesh water bottle pocket. This is something a lot of people have been asking for from Greenroom for a while, and it is in this version of the By Your Command bag. And we also have a side grab handle, top grab handle, and another side grab handle. But I'm very happy to see that we finally implemented a stretch mesh water bottle pocket. I really like these quite a bit. All right, so we got the furry version, which means we have the big strip of loop, on the front half, so we can put morale patches throughout. And we've got our front liner pocket here that we also have a nice Fidlock key leash for. It is Fidlock, right? Yeah. I feel like an idiot. It's been a while since I've actually used one, so I forgot how they popped apart, but there we go. It just slides. And then we also have, can you see? Oh, that's new. I didn't notice that. We have these 3 little strapping here, but we have side zip. There's a center seam here, so we actually have 2 mesh pockets in here. So we don't just have the front pocket, we actually have some organization in here, and we have these 3 little rows of molly in there, so that's nice. So we have the zipper, which is a 2-way zipper. It'll go all the way up and all the way down. It's essentially one big long pocket in here that they sewed a center seam in to separate the actual pocket area into 2 pockets, but the zipper is one zipper. So I will probably orientate my zippers kind of like that, so they're right about in the center, so I can zip up or down to access my pocket. But we do still have a whole lot of space in here, so if you're not just utilizing the organization, you can still fit quite a bit of stuff in here. And it does have its own 3-dimensional space, so it will come away from the bag, so it's not going to just push into the bag, taking up all that internal space. So pop that in. Again, we have grab handles on both sides. If we flip it back over, you can see our nice air mesh back panel. And we also have rear entry access to our laptop sleeve. Is that on both sides? There's one. Okay, cool. So one side is rear entry into your laptop tablet sleeve. The other side is a back pocket that is behind the mesh panel and behind the laptop sleeve. So this is your like travel pocket, and then this is your access to the inside of the bag where you can get into your tablet or a laptop sleeve. All right. Where are our zippers? Up top. Okay. All right. So there we go. We have a few extra bits and bobs in here. These are essentially they're cable ties, but these work as well for strap management. So you would take those, coil up the ends of your strap, run them through, and then you would just Velcro the strap so you don't have dangly bits, which some people don't care about. Some people really care about. It is very handy if you are an urban commuter or a two-wheel commuter, that be like a motorized bike, scooter, motorcycle, anything like that, or a pedal bike, because sometimes these straps dangling can be dangerous when you're driving around or riding around at high speeds, and you can get caught on something and it could end badly for you. So tying some of these back is a really, really good idea, and that is exactly what these are for. We're going to come in here. We have our lid access here. We have two spacious mesh zipper pockets. And the mesh feels good too. It's not like a plasticky feeling mesh. It feels good, and you can see through that nicely so you can tell what's inside each pocket. And also our high-vis yellow interior. So then I would call this my tablet sleeve or my document sleeve, and then this would be your laptop sleeve, and this is where you can see we have external access here. Oh, and I totally missed, there is, oh, it's nicely tucked away and it's stretched too. So there's a QA pocket. We'll come back out to that. And then we also have the loop section here, so you can add one of those floor mats, if you will, which would actually kind of sit in here and would hold the bag, give you a little bit more shape, I guess, and give you a little bit more padding on the bottom of the bag. Now, one thing we got to check here, our laptop sleeve is technically floating from the bottom of the bag, but because I don't have that extra padding or that structure on the bottom, it could still bang on the bottom. So one thing, I point this out every time we talk about laptop sleeves, I don't care if it's padded, floating, anything like that. When you have a laptop sleeve and a laptop in your bag, always be cognizant of when you're putting it down. You don't want to slam this thing down. I don't care how well padded it is, how floating it is. You just want to be careful. Computers, they're expensive and they're pretty easy to break, so always be careful when you're setting your bag down so you don't bust your screen. Okay, so we have, again, our liner here that I really love. It's kind of like this purpley grayish color. I hate purple, but I love this. I don't know why I do, because it's kind of like this darker purplish grayish color. But the only bag I've ever seen is Greenroom, and this is what they use, and I love it. It's kind of their signature thing for their laptop sleeves. Now let's pop back out here real quick. Oh, that's why I missed it. It's nicely tucked. Can we see that? It's nicely tucked up here behind the back of the bag, so it's not a top access zipper. It's actually on the back side. That's why I completely missed that. So that's on the back side, and we do have a nice, it's that same mesh that we use for the water bottle pocket, so it is stretchy, but I like that back access. That's well hidden, so that's neatly tucked back there, so it's going to be kind of tucked away from a pickpocket. I like that quite a bit. Another thing I'm noticing here that I like, we have a little plastic D-ring here. I always carry a carabiner, or usually a carabiner and a hero clip on my bag. When we have a grab handle, I just put on the grab handle. The only problem there is it's going to slide around. It's going to move around all the time. But with this little D-ring here, there we go. Problem solved. So I can probably, what I would probably do is put my hero clip on the D-ring so I can hang the bag if I want. And then I also keep a carabiner. I'd probably put the carabiner on one of these side grab handles, because I like to have the carabiner for any external things I want to strap to the bag, so I can have that there. But I don't like, I do it because you don't have a choice in some bags, but I don't like to put them both in the same grab handle because they're loud, they bang together. So the D-ring being up here is really nice. Put my hero clip there so it's not going to be sliding around all the time. And then because I have my additional side grab handles, I can put a carabiner over there so I don't get that clanking all the time when I'm walking around. So let's give it another quick once over here, see if I missed anything else, because I did miss the QA pocket that I really like the access of. So yeah, looking this over. Now this is the smaller version. I forget the liters offhand. I think they're 21 and 26 or 20 and 25 liter versions for the Northseekers. And there's just something about this Northseeker format that, I don't know, I love it. The first time I used it, I was like, this is a pretty nice bag. And then after I got done with my first initial review of my very first Northseeker, I was like, this bag is awesome. It's got a nice sleeper design, so it's not going to stand out. Nothing about this screams, hey, look at me, I'm a custom-made bag from Malaysia. But it fits in, it's a nice sleeper bag, but it's well thought out. There's lots of nice details in this. And this being the BYC, it has a lot of extra details that you, the consumer, put into this. Yeah, so first impressions, very, very strong. Really like this. Now, this is the Cordura version. I think they're also doing it in an EPX version. Mine comes in, I think, 910 Malaysian ringgit, which is about $230. That includes, I believe, the shipping costs and everything like that, too. So that was shipped to the door, would have been total cost. Now, the Greenroom 136 BYC Northseeker does come in a few different options. We have the EPX 400, both in the naked and the furry front, both coming in at $201.78 USD at the time of filming. We also have a 10.10 ounce Army Duck that is coming in at $227 USD at the time of filming. We have a VX42 version that comes in both a vanilla or a furry front that both come in at $201.78. They also have a multicam in black version in both vanilla or furry front for $201.78 USD. And then we get down to my version, which is the Northseeker in Cordura that comes in at $176.55 USD. And then once we choose our option, you see we have drop downs for color that we want. Then you can add a sternum strap or a luggage pass-through strap, both of which I opted to not get on this bag. Now, once we get down a little further, you can see you can add the floor padding or the strap bands, which I do have. But please note, short of the color option for your bag, if you add any additional options, it will increase the price of your bag. And once again, my bag does look gray on the camera, but in person it does have a bit of a green tinge to it. I think it's just the lighting I have set up in this room right now. But I'm very, very pleased with the BYC. This bag it's pretty awesome. I'm very, very happy with the options that you, the consumer, chose for this bag. So let's break that down just again real quick. I know I mentioned it, the BYC by your command. So that's what it stands for, BYC by your command. This is the third version now of the Northseeker. And what that means is they took Greenroom's Greenroom 136's Northseeker, the design that they had, and they took your consumer feedback to build the bag that you wanted. So this is essentially a culmination of both Greenroom's original design for the Northseeker and the features that you wanted implemented into Northseeker. And I think one of the big ones was probably these water bottle pockets. I know people have been asking me why they don't use stretch mesh water bottle pockets for years. Some of my first bags that had water bottle pockets, they're the canvas ones or the Cordura ones, and like, why don't they implement stretch mesh? And at the time, I actually had an answer. It was because they couldn't get them to work with the bag the way they wanted them to work. And now there's more time, more experience, different materials are available. So now they are able to easily implement them, and it's something you've wanted for years. So they're on the bag. Also, we have our side grab handles here. We have the little D-ring. We have this nicely hidden, I really like this nicely hidden QA pocket access. I like that. I really like the zipper has this back access instead of top access, because we don't have AquaGuard zippers on this. If you're out in the rain, you're out in the weather, you know, the water could sit on the top of the bag and soak the QA pocket, get into that pocket, therefore get into the bag. Being on the back, it's also offering you a little bit more protection. And it's also nicely hidden. I didn't even notice it my first go around, so I like that. I really like the water bottle pockets. Personally, I like the furry fronts. I usually get that on most of my bags. I like to put morale patches on there. But I'm very pleased with the overall design of the Northseeker in general. It's not my favorite backpack from Greenroom, but I like the implementation of the BYC features. One thing I should add about the Northseeker. Personally, I like bags that are mid-20s, like 30 liters. I find even when I scale back, which I do quite often, I get down to a nice comfortable carry size. I just add more things in, or I sometimes need more space in my bag. But the thing with the Northseeker is this is the smaller size. I forgot to look at the liters of the bag when I was reading the specs. I don't remember if they're 21 and 26 or 20 and 25. Let me see if I can find it super fast here in the specs. While I'm looking at this, don't mind taking a look at my Huntrix shirt. Yes, I'm going to a little kid's birthday party with my daughter shortly, and I thought this would be a hit at the party, so I opted to wear it. 16-liter capacity. So this is a 16-liter bag. But the thing I found with the Northseeker, so I thought this looked a little smaller than my last Northseeker, but the thing I found out with the Northseeker shape in general, is it punches well above its weight class. Because this is a square, full clamshell bag, you can really fit everything into this bag. So even though it's a 16-liter bag, which would be a little small for my personal EDC, I think this is actually going to work just as well as like a 25-liter bag, because it has a square shape, full clamshell, so you can fully access and fully pack this bag out. So I did notice, like, my original Northseeker, I think maybe the originals were either 20 or 21 and 25 and 26, something like that. They're like 5-liter difference in size, but they feel and fit so much more than that like 20-liter, 21-liter capacity. I feel like that carried more like a mid-20, and then the mid-20 carried more like a 30. So a 16, I think, is going to carry more like a low 20-liter capacity bag, because it has a great shape, a great design, and it doesn't make it bulky either when you load it out. So this is a great shape, a great design. I really like the format of this bag, and I think this is going to be maybe my favorite Rainmaker, my favorite Northseeker yet that I have in my collection. I have a couple in the closet right now, but I think this one might be my favorite because we have these nice water bottle pockets. Really excited to get this thing into rotation and test it out. So first impressions are incredibly positive on this bag. Really, really like what I'm seeing here. But don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Smash that big red button, ring that bell right next to it. See you notifications. Thanks for posting a brand new video. At the full real user review of the BYC Northseeker from Greenroom 136. Good night.